Hi guys, so today we're going to be reading The Boy Who Hated Valentine's Day by Sally Whitman, illustrated by Chaya Burstein. Let's start reading. The Boy Who Hated Valentine's Day. When Ben Garfield was 7 years old, he decided that he hated Valentine's Day. When he was 6, it was one of his favorite holidays. Ben could hardly wait until after lunch when the children were allowed to open their Valentine boxes and look inside. Over and over, Ben admired each Valentine on his desk. And when school was out, he took his Valentines home, spread them out on his table, and looked through them again. Look. But the year when Ben was 7, Arnold Fortin Sky teased him, saying, "Only babies like Valentines." So Ben was so embarrassed, went around loudly saying, "Valentine's Day is silly, and I don't want any dumb old Valentines." Of course it wasn't true, but everyone took him seriously and left him off their lists. So Ben didn't receive a single Valentine. When he opened his box and found nothing inside, Ben was very hurt. Though he didn't let anyone know it, but he vowed never to let it happen again. See, that's him all alone. Spring turned into summer, and Ben was so busy swimming and fishing and daydreaming that he forgot about the hurt of Valentine's Day. Autumn seemed to whiz by, and before you could say icicle, it was winter. Well, where I live, there are a bunch of icicles outside, and I can even see one through my window right now. Ben spent the long, dark days drawing. One day, while he was idly copying a dollar bill, his father noticed. "Say, that's good," he said. "I hope you never turn to counterfeit. Ben, you'd be a millionaire right quick." Ben laughed, but it set his mind to thinking, and by the time Valentine's Day rolled around again, he had a plan. He would send out 20 Valentines all to himself. There would be one from each person in the class, perfect forgeries, copied from the signature of his classmate. I think that's smart. The next day, Ben spent spying. He wanted to be sure of the signatures, just in case someone looked at his Valentines. Ben was able to observe everyone's except Keela's. "Ben Garfield," she said, covering her paper. "Why do you keep looking over my shoulder? If you don't know the answers, you should study harder." Later, on the playground, Ben asked Keela for her autograph. "Why do you want my autograph?" she asked. "Because," Ben fibbed, "I believe you will be a famous singer someday." "Oh," said Keela, blushing and signing her name. Actually, Ben thought Keela had a squeaky voice, but now he had her signature. The night before Valentine's Day, Ben disappeared into his room with scissors, paste red and white paper and lace, and he began to make valentines for himself. He cut out hearts and more hearts until his fingers hurt from the scissors. Then he pasted and arranged them the way he thought every person would have done it. Oh, look, I think that little dog's on every page. But he is really cute. Signing the names took Ben's finest concentration. He began with the easiest, Aaron, Philip, and Jeff. They always signed in block letters. Then came Keela, who made circles instead of dots over her eyes, and Henry, the new boy, who signed his name slanting downhill. Josh's signature was the most fun to copy. He had broken his right arm, so Ben just signed Josh with his left hand. One by one, Ben created his forgers until he had 20 valentines for himself. Then he put them in the cardboard shoebox and that he was to bring to school, and he taped on the lid. Nobody would suspect that his shoebox was already full. The next morning, there was arithmetic and reading as usual, but nobody paid attention because everyone was excited about the party. "Look," whispered Josh, pointing with his good arm. Plates of heart-shaped cookies over Mrs. O'Leary's desk, and a big jug of punch stood in the corner. "Look, those look really good right now." Arnold Fortinsky kept going to Mrs. O'Leary's desk to sharpen his pencil. When he thought she wasn't looking, he tried to grab a cookie, but Miss O'Leary seemed to have an eye in the back of her head. "Refreshments will be served at the party, Arnold, and not before," she said. After lunch, everyone decorated their shoeboxes to receive valentines, except for an occasional "Who's going to paste?" or "Who took my scissors?" It was surprisingly quiet in the classroom. Everyone kept glancing nervously at the clock. Ben handled his box carefully so as not to give away the secret that there were already 20 valentines inside it. He printed his name on the box and cut a slit in the lid. Then he pasted on some hearts. Miss O'Leary coughed and announced that now everyone could drop their valentines in the boxes and their way out to the recess. Ben tried to look innocent as he skipped outside to wait. The others came out one by one, giggling and laughing. Look, that's him right now. Ben. Arnold Fortinsky looked at Mary Beth and said, "Oh, Valentine, I'd die for you." Then he clutched his throat, gasped, and fell to the ground. Ben was about to tickle Arnold with his foot when he heard his name. "Ben," Miss O'Leary called. Maybe she had discovered his forgers. Ben's neck grew hot. "Ben, I forgot the rubber ball. Would you please run back and get it for me?" Yes, ma'am. Relieved, Ben sped back into the classroom. As he rounded the corner to the ball closet, he accidentally knocked someone's shoebox off his desk and spilled nothing. Ben picked up the box and looked inside. It was empty. He read the name on the lid. Henry. Henry Van Tassels, the new boy. He had only been in class a week. Ben remembered how he felt last year when he didn't receive any valentines, and imagined how Henry would feel when he opened an empty box. Ben went to his own shoebox. He tore off the lid and dumped all his 4 good valentines into Henry's box. He replaced the lid. Then he grabbed the rubber ball and ran outside with it. "What took you so long?" said Arnold Fortinsky, who had finished dying by now. "Did you eat a cookie?" "No," said Ben. He stuck out his tongue. "I ate all the cookies." Then he tossed the ball to Miss Ollery, who began a game of dodgeball. When recess was over, the class raced to the room. At last it was time for the party. Ben figured that nobody would notice his empty box if he kept himself busy at the refreshment table. After a while, Ben sneaked a look at Henry. He had a red mustache, and he looked contented. Ben couldn't resist asking him, "Did you get a lot of valentines, Henry?" "Yeah," said Henry, grinning. "I didn't think anyone liked me, but I guess they do. I got 40 valentines, so everyone gave me 2. Well, almost everyone." Ben blinked. 40? Then besides the 20 valentines that he had sent to him, there had been 20 more dropped in Ben's own box. He chuckled. "How about you, Ben?" asked Henry. "Did you get a lot?" "Yeah," said Ben, "the same as you." And that was the Solomon truth. Of course, Henry suspected something when he received 2 valentines for himself. But he said nothing. Before long, Ben and Henry had become best friends. Though they spent a lot of time together playing and swimming and fishing, they never mentioned that day. But every year after, Ben always received 2 valentines from Henry. The end. And that was the story, The Boy Who Hated Valentine's Day, by Sally Whitman, illustrated by Chaya Birdstein. I hope you liked it. If you did, make sure to subscribe and share. Bye, readers. Bye.